Most men go their entire lives without ever questioning one habit. They do it automatically. Silently. Often daily. And no one ever tells them to pause and ask one dangerous question. What happens if I don't? What happens if a man stops releasing his sexual energy? Not for a day. Not for a challenge. But for weeks, months, maybe longer. Some people call it nonsense. Some call it discipline. Some call it ancient wisdom. But men who have actually practiced semen retention all say the same thing. Something strange starts happening. Not magical. Not supernatural. But deeply unsettling if you're not ready. In this video, we're not here to hype you. We're not here to sell you fantasies. We're here to talk about 5 strange, uncomfortable, and rarely discussed changes that many men report during semen retention, changes that force you to confront who you really are. This is not motivation. This is awareness. And once you hear this, you won't be able to unhear it. What semen retention really is, before we begin. Let's clear one thing first. Semen retention is not about hating pleasure. It's not about becoming a monk. And it's definitely not about feeling superior. At its core, semen retention is about interrupting an automatic loop. Urge, release, relief, repeat. When you break this loop, the body doesn't stay neutral. It reacts. And that reaction is where the strange things begin. Strange thing number 1, your mind becomes uncomfortably loud. At first, most men expect clarity. They expect peace, focus, calm. What they get instead is noise. Thoughts get louder. Memories resurface. Old regrets knock without permission. Why? Because sexual release is one of the strongest emotional suppressors men have. Stress? Release. Loneliness? Release. Boredom? Release. Anxiety? Release. When that escape is gone, the mind has no mute button. Suddenly, you start thinking about your life direction. You question your habits. You notice how distracted you've been for years. This is why many men quit in the first 7 to 10 days. Not because urges are strong, but because self-awareness is stronger. Semen retention doesn't give you peace. It removes the anesthesia. Strange thing number 2, energy rises. But it doesn't feel comfortable. Men are told. Retention gives you energy. That's true, but incomplete. What it actually gives you first is restlessness. Your body suddenly has more physical drive, more alertness, less tolerance for wasting time. You can't sit still like before. Scrolling feels irritating. Lazy conversations drain you. Many men misinterpret this as aggression or anger. It's not. It's unused potential with nowhere to go. If you don't channel it, it becomes frustration, then irritation, then relapse. This is why retention forces action. Your body demands movement, work, purpose. And if you ignore that demand, it will punish you with discomfort. Strange thing number 3, women don't magically notice you, but you change around them. This part is controversial, so listen carefully. Semen retention is not a magnet spell. Women don't suddenly smell you from across the room. What actually changes is your internal posture. Men who constantly release often move like they're seeking approval. Softer eye contact. Nervous energy. Subtle neediness. During retention, many men report slower movements. Deeper voice, not magically, but from relaxed breathing. Less urgency to impress. And here's the strange part. Women don't respond to retention. They respond to non-neediness. You stop chasing reactions. You stop over-explaining. You stop trying to be liked. That shift is subtle, but powerful. Not attraction. Presence. Strange thing number 4, old addictions start resisting you. This one surprises almost everyone. When sexual release is removed, the brain looks for replacement dopamine. So suddenly, sugar cravings increase. Social media feels harder to put down. You want stimulation, any stimulation. Why? Because your brain was using sexual release as its primary reward system. Remove it, and the brain panics. This is where many men realize something uncomfortable. It wasn't just about sex. It was about escaping emptiness. Semen retention exposes every weak coping mechanism you have. And that exposure is not gentle. Strange thing number 5, you start seeing yourself without distraction. This is the most unsettling change of all. At a certain point, usually after a few weeks, something quiet happens. You wake up one day and realize. You know exactly what you've been avoiding. You know which habits are fake. You know which relationships are draining. And there's no sexual fog to hide behind. This is why ancient traditions treated sexual energy as creative force, not pleasure currency. Because once it's no longer wasted, it turns inward. And self-honesty is not comfortable. Why most men never stick with it? Not because it's hard, but because it removes their favorite escape. Retention doesn't make you superhuman. It makes you undistracted. And most people are terrified of that. Ending, cliffhanger for next part. In the next part, we'll talk about why confidence during retention can feel fake at first. The dangerous ego trap many men fall into. How long retention actually takes to stabilize. And the one mistake that destroys all benefits. This isn't about streaks. It's about control.